Hi, everyone. This is Mike Shackelford at the 2018 Cutting Edge Table Game Show at the Paris Casino in Las Vegas, and I'm joined again by Mr. Joe Shipman. Joe, what game do you have for us this time?
This game is called Bluff, and it's the first player versus dealer table game that incorporates bluffing.
All right, and this looks like another one-card game, much like the game that I interviewed you about last year.
Well, yes, it's simple in that way, but it's a much better game, much more exciting.
All right, so can you lead me through the basics of the game, please?
Yeah, well, from the player's point of view, it's simply one-card stud poker. There's antes, raises, calls, checks, folds, all the usual things that happen in poker. And it's completely fair and symmetrical between the player and the dealer. So if there's a tie, then if your card matches the dealer, it's a push. You don't lose half your bet like in Casino War. There's no qualifying hand. There's no commission. It's all totally heads up.
All right, so it's basically a version of poker, player against dealer, based on a one-card hand. Is that correct?
That's right. But the math was tricky to get right.
I'm sure it was, but you would be the man to do it.
Well, thank you. So the way this works is that the player starts by getting a card. Well, he starts by making an ante-bet, and then there are optional side bets. And then after he gets his card, if he likes his card, aces high, deuces low, he can raise his bet or he can check. If he raises, the dealer can call or fold, and if he checks, then the dealer can raise, and if the dealer raises, the player can call or fold. So there's basically one round of betting, and the dealer has to follow a fixed strategy. So based on the dealer's card, he has to do what his card tells him to do, and whether the player's card is face up or face down doesn't matter because the dealer isn't using the information of the player's card. So the player doesn't have to keep a poker face.
Very clever. And I assume that because the dealer has that positional advantage of acting last, that's where the house advantage comes in?
Well, yeah, but it's quite subtle because in some varieties of poker, going first is an advantage because of initiative, and in some varieties, going last is an advantage because of information. If you change this game slightly, if you change the raise to ante ratio from 1 to 2 or to a half, then the player has an advantage. So it's very precisely calibrated so that the dealer has an advantage of about 4%.
Well, this sounds like a very beautifully designed game. Can you tell me what the correct strategy is for the player?
Well, it's pretty balanced. The player should bluff if he has a low card, 2, 3, or 4. That's a little bit better than checking. If he has a middle card, 5 through 8, he should check. And then if the dealer raises him, it's balanced equally between calling and folding. And if he has a high card, then 9 through ace, he can bet, but he can also check and then call if he's raised, and those are also balanced strategies. What this means is that if there's any information at all about the cards, then the player can improve his play.
All right, and what would be the house advantage assuming a correct player strategy?
Well, it's 4.2% with basic strategy, but that's 4.2% of the ante. The average bet is close to 2 units, so it's more like 2.5% of the total amount bet. However, the player can improve his chances if he card counts. By using a simple card count, he can get the house edge down to 3% or less, but he can't beat the game. So that's actually a very striking feature of the game, is that it's easy to improve your odds, but you can't use it to actually beat the game.
Well, as a card counter myself, I must say that's very clever, is to have a blackjack game where you actually welcome counters.
Yes, we are not exactly welcoming counters so much as people who would like to be counters and want something easier that works right away. If you count cards in blackjack, it takes a while for the deck to become favorable. But here, if you even see one card, if you see a king come out, that means that the dealer is slightly more likely to be bluffing than usual, so you should call if he bets. But if you see a deuce come out, that means the dealer is slightly less likely to be bluffing than usual, so that means that you should probably fold if you have a middle-sized card and he bets.
Okay, well, can we play a few hands as an example?
Sure, have a seat. Place your bets. Okay. $5 minimum on the main bet. Now you can either check or raise. You're checking that hand. Now you're checking both hands. Okay. So now I am going to raise you. So you have to call or fold. You got to call or fold. Okay, I've got to put them in the fold space. And you're folding both. Well, that was easy. Okay, but now we have to check and see if you won the side bets. I had a deuce. I was bluffing you. Okay, and we don't match, and we don't match there, so I win everything. You got bluffed. Place your bets. Okay. And you want to check or raise? Okay. All right, well, you're raising, so I am going to fold if I have 6 or less, and I'm going to call if I have 7 and up. And I have a jack, so I'm calling you. So let's see what happens here. I beat you there. However, lucky you get paid even money on your side bet because you matched my suit. Now over here, you beat me, so you get even money, but you don't match either suit or number, so I take your side bets. All right, and here we go again. You can raise or check. Okay, so I have an 8. This time I'm calling. And you beat me. So I pay you even money, but I take your side bets. And you beat me again. And I take your progressive, but you win even money on your suit and tie side bet because you match the suit. All right, there's still a lot of different things that can happen that we haven't seen yet. All right, so you're going to raise or you're going to check? Checking there. Checking in both places. Okay, so now I am going to raise you and you have to decide to call or fold.
I fold both.
You fold, okay. I was bluffing. But luckily, oh my goodness. Oh, okay, so I win your main bets because you folded. I pay you off at 3-1 on your suit and tie because you matched the number. And I pay you off at 15-1 on the suit and tie here because you matched the suit and the number, but you don't get the progressive. Now, let's pretend you made the progressive bet. Okay? Then I would give you a marker and you win 20-1, but you're also in it for the big jackpot. There's a progressive sign here that says the jackpot's $1,509.40, and if you match me on the next hand, you'll win that. So we leave this here. This is inactive for this spot. And I'll give you 2 cards. All right, so are you going to raise or check? Checking and checking. Okay, so I'm going to bet again. So now you have to call or fold.
I'll fold this one and I will call that one.
All right, so we have a showdown and you lose everything here. And you lose these here. And because you didn't win again, matching my suit and number, you only keep the $20 you took already, and I take my marker back. And now you're reset and you can bet again for the next progressive.
All right, have we seen every situation?
Oh no, not close. Let's play a little longer. That's either one is fine. With a high card, either one is good. All right. So I am going to first of all ask you. I'm going to raise you now and ask you to call or fold.
Okay, so I'll call on that one.
Okay. So now I turn my card over and I have a jack. So that means that where you raised, I'm calling you. And I'm calling your bluff and taking everything. And where you checked and I raised you, and you called, I also win everything. Place your bets. All right. Okay, well, so you're raising me in both, and I have a 9. Okay, so I'm gonna be calling you with a 9, and that means that I lose here. You get paid even money, but you lose your side bets. And you were bluffing, so you lose your main bets, but you lose your progressive, but you get paid even money on your suit and tie because you matched my suit.
Thank you, Joe, for that demonstration of bluff.
Thank you, Mike, for giving me the publicity.
You're welcome. My pleasure. And good luck with it. And goodbye, everybody.
And I hope I'll see you again next year.
I'm sure you will. Bye.